Is Tucker Carlson who he says he is? Now, we want him to be the conservative populist juggernaut, but he was just invited to speak at a conference that was hosted by the Bill Gates Foundation, also the Clinton Global Initiative, hosted in a country that we want to be an ally of ours, but actually is against some of the biggest key allies that we have. Also believes in Sharia law. What are we doing? Wait till you hear the conversations he had, and also some insider information from the conference. Is he actually a supporter of America first, like he says he is? It's kind of weird. Oh yeah, by the way, he said he's buying property there too. We'll discuss that whole story. It also ties with what Bill Gates said at this conference that Tucker Carlson was sitting very attentively listening to. Bill Gates said something very, very bizarre, but very, very disturbing. He talked about how 100% of Americans, 100% of the world is going to need this, and he's going to be the one to do it. We're going to discuss all that today, dealing with the dangers of what Bill Gates said. We're going to listen to a doctor that's kind of warning against what Bill Gates is doing. He says, look, this is what he's done, and this is what he's going to keep on doing, and ultimately, are we looking at a biological weapon? And then lastly, we're going to talk about the dangers again with our food system. How fake is our food? We're going to discuss what is being sprayed on our food. All of the corn, all of the grain in America has this chemical going on it, and it's wreaking havoc on the healthcare system for America. When will we learn the dangers of the stuff that we're putting on our food that the government allowed is actually causing harm, which is ultimately allowing for those companies to have to keep putting this into men and women to make us be able to have kids, make us be able to be healthy, make us be able to last longer in years. Ultimately, if we go back to the sprays, though, it may be the stuff that we're putting on our food that's causing the harm in the first place. We're going to discuss the stories and so much more. Let's dive in. Hey guys, welcome to our channel. Thank you so very much for being here. We are so humbled by your support of our channel, and we hope that you're getting good information out. Just like, for instance, the winners of last month, November, and the 300,000 giveaway, we actually are sending those gifts out Tuesday of this next week. That's when they'll be ready. So we thank you. Again, we love that you're subscribing. Remember, you're in a giveaway each and every month. Now remember, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. Now let's jump into the stories of the day. First, let's talk about this event that's going on in Qatar this week in Doha. Now, a few things to talk about, and then we're going to discuss, Tucker Carlson tied to it. Now, this was put on by the Clinton Global Initiative, by the Qatari government, and the leader. Now, they have a special name for him, but basically they're quote-unquote their prime minister or their president, it's their mirror. It was also put on by the Bill Gates Foundation. Now, what was the point of this conversations taking place? There were some conservatives, some liberals, some, establishment, some non-establishment. There was all kind of people there. But what was the point of what was going on at this event? Let's just go through some of the highlights of what was said and what was talked about. I want you to listen first to what the Emir of Qatar pledged at this event. It says he pledges to expand Sharia law in the opening address at the Doha Forum. Today, the Emir of Qatar announced that his theme for the Doha Forum this year in Qatar is justice in action beyond promises and progress. His goal is to push through Sharia. That means, quote unquote, justice. That's the word justice, Sharia. He says that is their goal, to push this justice system throughout Muslim countries and further actions into the world. Essentially, the Emir of Qatar made the theme of Doha Sharia in action. At this event, Bill Gates pledges to put this in the entire world. He was the keynote for this weekend. This forum, he stated that his goal is to make sure 100% of the world takes all the schedules and the agendas that he and his organization is starting to pass. He said he believes that this is a mandate for him and government to take care of people. Also at this event, he unveiled blueprints for a global digital ID, AI-driven surveillance, and making sure that we build some kind of tracking for this for everyone. That is literally the massive surveillance programs that we've been pushing against. And this is the same push that the World Health Organization and Agenda 2030 pushed and the WEF pushed. Now, remember, as I stated, Tucker Carlson and his partner are there. Tucker Carlson's partner is like one of the main people there. So how influential is this group of individuals in Tucker's influence and impact in the conservative movement? Now let's keep on going to what on Bill Gates. It says, in the document published on October bulletin for the World Health Organization, this is the exact same thing that the Gates Foundation pushed when it says they want to propose a digital identity infrastructure that has permanently tracked every individual and their status of what they got from birth. He wants to make sure that this is put into a program and using AI and surveillance technology with digital ID right here. Did you know that my phone updated through the night 2 nights ago? From that point, it's prompted me probably over 30 times to finish my setup, which is a facial identification and thumbprint scan. Truthfully, to this day it won't do it, so that little red one is sitting on the settings, and every few minutes, every time I open my phone, it literally prompts me that. It's kind of weird, huh? It says the dystopian proposal raises far more than privacy and autonomy concerns. It establishes the architecture of government overreach, cross-domain profiling, AI-driven behavioral targeting, conditions access to services, and it makes it where they have a grid of tracking individuals. Now this goes along with the meta glasses, the AI glasses that are finding out who everyone is. This also goes with the story with the opt-out policy with Meta, that if you don't opt out, they're going to be able to use AI to get all your private information to learn more about you. Same with Snapchat, same with TikTok. This is all one big dangerous circle that we're causing. And this is the event that, again, Tucker Carlson spoke at as well. This is the event that Qatar has put on. This is the event that so many people back Qatar, but they're pushing for Sharia law. This is the event that Bill Gates and Clinton Foundation worked together on and putting with Qatar. This same event, they even brought the fact that they pledged more support for Hamas, that Qatar said that, yeah, well, Washington wanted me to invest in Qatar 13 years ago. So then the truth becomes, well, why don't we just stop funding for all of it? Now, sadly, Trump has a good relationship with Qatar. I don't believe this is a good move at all, especially for the person that's saying that they want more impact of Sharia law all across America, all across the world, all across all the Middle East. They're also funding Hamas. Hamas came out just this week and stated at another event that was hosted and again funded by Qatar, stating that they will not disarm, they will not bend down to the Trump administration's push for losing control of Gaza. They will know that Israel's the enemy. They will push against Israel. So what have we accomplished other than seeing Qatar having bad relationships with terror, and we're allowing for some of the most conservative influencers to be part of it, along with the guy who's over all this that's pushing certain narratives, and also the Clinton Global Initiative. The same things that we've pushed against is now becoming a conservative, talking point? That we believe these people are good? Now let's go to Tucker Carlson. We talked about Hamas. We talked about Sharia law. We've talked about Bill Gates. Clinton spoke too. Hillary Clinton spoke at this event too, talking about how we need more working together and coming alongside people to realize that we can do things together in making the world better. Well, their idea of better is this, and this. More surveillance on you. Let's talk about Tucker Carlson. Let's talk about just what happened and what's going on there, what some of the things that was said. And again, tying to Tucker Carlson. Now people say, well, Colby, he just because he spoke there doesn't mean he agrees with everything. Well, let's go through it, because I'll be honest with you, if we put ourselves with strange bedfellows, we're going to end up probably doing things that we shouldn't do, or at least being in proximity to people that we shouldn't be in proximity to. Listen to this. In a fitting twist, the CEO of Tucker Carlson Networks, Neil Patel, is sitting right next to Nika Soon Xiang. This is the publisher of Drop Site News, the anti-American terror mouthpiece funded by the Soros Foundation, tied together, sitting closely in proximity and sharing time at Doha. Tucker Carlson also states that he is buying property in Doha. He believes that he is going to buy real estate in Doha. Again, let's go back. The people that's over this partnership with Qatar is the World Economic Forum, the Clinton Foundation, the Clinton Global Initiative, and the Gates Foundation. How can we say that Tucker's America first if he's going to speak to this? Now, let's go. He says, Tucker makes a comment. He says, I've never taken money from Qatar, because that's been the push. However, it may be true, as in he may not take dollars and cents from the actual Qatari government, but let's talk about the fees from where he got to being there. This is the average fees for his company, the average fees for Tucker speaking. All right, the flight to Maine to Qatar is around $1,400 to $4,000, it says. So who paid that? It says the Doha accommodations for the luxury suites that they stayed in is $800 to $1,500 a night. Who's paying that? The transportation, the car and limo service that all the speakers used, who's paying for that? The speaking honorarium, a typical fee for this event based on a booking agency that is utilized from the speakers there, that has the interviewers there, is normally around $100,000 to $200,000. And Tucker being one of the biggest speakers. Who pays for that? Someone had to pay, $250,000? Maybe for all of these things for Tucker Carlson to get from Maine to Qatar and then back? Who pays for that? So is Tucker meaning he's getting money from Qatar, or is it just because he considers it a speaking fee? Remember, a lot of politicians do this. They sweep certain funds and fees under the rug, and how they're not being paid by lobbyists, they're not being paid for this, but all my dinners are paid, all my in-kind gestures are paid, all my limo services are paid, all my train fares are paid, all my tickets are paid for the airline. See, when you say you're quote-unquote not paid by someone, but someone may have a major impact in your life if all of a sudden $250,000 just get put in your bank account for speaking at one event. Now, why is this a big deal? Well, here's the big deal. This is an imam from America speaking. Imam warns the Democrats that use of extremists seeking American Islamic takeover is happening. The point of using the Democrat Party is so that we can take control of a major party system in America. Listen to this. It says, Imam Muhammad Tahidi reveals extremist network backed Democrats for media and congressional access while pursuing a long-game strategy to take over the U.S. schools and government. It says Pew data shows that 70% of U.S. Muslims vote Democrat, and he said the purpose is to ultimately take over this party and find full control before long. He said that's what has been so easy is we've manipulated one of the major parties in America. We didn't have to start a third party. We did it from literally grassroots in the Democrat Party. So when we talk about the dangers of this religion, we talk about the dangers of Tucker backing this and Neil Patel being a Muslim that's his partner that is literally tied to Qatar. Purpose, why do we think this normalization of these people is good? I mean, this is what they're wanting. They're wanting to destroy us as Americans. I mean, listen to what Pope Leo said. He's supposed to be this great conservative leader. Listen to this. Christians and Muslims can live together and be friends. Can they? Because the same Muslims are destroying the nativity scene in London right now, in UK. Also, they destroyed the markets in Germany and Brussels, where they cannot even celebrate Christmas. They said that the London mayor actually had to go to an event for Christmas that the royal family was there, and he was there. The royal family was booed, by the way. And it was a Christian song about Christmas, and you can see the London mayor had no part in it. He actually folded his paper up. Now, what's going to happen? Is Christmas going to be canceled in London too? Now, remember this. Who owns more land in the UK British Empire than the British Empire? The Qatari government. So their push for Sharia across the world is actually happening sooner rather than later. And some of the biggest players, people like Tucker Carlson, are helping make that just a normal thing. I mean, the man's just said he is going to buy property in Doha, Qatar. Now, if I was you, I would think about this long and hard. If this country was known to be a Sharia law country, Muslim leadership that does not like quote unquote Christianity, why would a conservative right-wing Christian want to live there? I mean, just ask yourself that. Why? The question then comes, how true is Tucker's walk? How true is the conservative movement in him? Or is he literally just being used to ultimately destroy America's relationship and American Christianity? Something to think about. I want you to listen to what this gentleman said. And this is the last part that's just unbelievable. That I took a picture with Tucker Carlson. I mean, here's the picture right there. You see it? There he is. It says, this guy called for Israel to bomb U.S. He suggested that Trump kill Charlie. He also suggested that Trump took advantage of under 18. This is what he stated. Real thrilled to meet and chat with Tucker Carlson at Doha today. We may disagree on a lot of things, but he has done more to shift the political winds against Israel and in favor of Palestine than any other American. I want to read that one more time. Great and a thrill meeting and chatting with Tucker Carlson today at Doha. We may disagree on a lot of things, but he has done more to shift the political winds against Israel in favor of Palestine than any other American. It shows influencing is a big deal. And what I'm scared of is people like Tucker telling you that he's a Christian conservative and believes in America, but he's buying property in Doha, Qatar, and funded by a Muslim partner, and has ties to someone who's wanting Sharia law to be pushed all over the world. I don't know about you, that's a pretty big deal. King Charles of UK Empire, or British Empire. Charles quotes the Quran and thanks Muslims for their enormous contributions they have made to British society. We're seeing UK fall. The question is, are we going to see America fall? This is from the 1800s when we realized we were a Christian nation. I want you to listen to some of the laws that were in the states of America, and also it was based on the Constitution. Listen to this. In 1808, Connecticut outlawed the following felonies. You could not be an atheist. You could not believe in several gods. You had to believe in one God. You could not believe that we were just here, just made, and that it was a theist situation with God, but ultimately not Christianity. You couldn't believe that. You could not deny Christianity. You could not deny the biblical authority of the Bible over the Constitution and the laws set up in America. The first offense, you could not hold office. The second offense, you were cast out of civil society if you did not believe Christian doctrine in the Bible. Boy, have we lost our way. This enlightenment, this new age, this new way of thinking has actually pulled us further away from God, and now it's putting us in the arms of another religion that hates us. What are we doing? Now I want to go to, Bill Gates said he wanted to do this in everybody's arm. Let's go to some of the things that are happening and some of the sprays that are going on your food, and also what was just said about RFK. This is from Valerie Smith. It says, one chemical in your water is turning male frogs into egg-laying females, and it's doing the same thing to our boys. Now, it's not turning us male to females. What she's saying is it's becoming to where men are losing testosterone. It's causing problems for their bodies, and it's wrecking our hormones, not only for men, but for women. I want you to listen to some of this stuff. EPA is allowing for this spray to be on your food that goes into your water. Europe banned this substance 20 years ago. It's called atrazine. 85 million pounds are sprayed yearly on U.S. corn, and it is in your tap water right now in proven levels of toxicity. Here's what atrazine is proved to harm straight from the studies that our government has done, and they still allow it to be in your food system. Chemical castration. It is literally turning males into females when it comes to frogs. Now, I know that's a big deal, and tinfoil hat wearers and Alex Jones, but it's true. It says male fertility is actually 50% lower now in sperm counts because of infertility problems in males based on this. Cancer. It triggers probable human carcinogens such as prostate, breast, ovarian, lymphoma, and leukemia. Birth defects, preterm birth, low birth weight, genital deformities, and brain defects. All because of this. Hormone chaos mimics estrogen to cause for problems in testosterone in men, also causes for infertility of women, also pushes obesity and diabetes, prenatal exposure, and it causes for insulin resistance all across our endocrine system and causes brain damage, Parkinson's, cognitive decline, anxiety, all across this land. And this is being sprayed on your corn in your food system and is leaching into your water. And we have yet to ban it. I want you to listen to what Dr. David Rasnick just said. He's a cancer and AIDS research titan that knows everything in that world of your immune system and the dangers of what Bill Gates pushes. Says Bill Gates and others are going around the world basically causing people problems. On a global scale, these things that are going, these sticks are wiping out hundreds of millions of people at least. This is intentional because we know the dangers of this that we did, and we're still doing it. We know the dangers of the ones that we're putting in under 18s, and we're still doing it. It says, Dr. David Rasnick is a PhD and an expert of clinical diagnosis, drug design, and AIDS, as well as understanding the biotech and the dangers of bioweapons. And he is calling Bill Gates out and the funding that's behind him because it's going to cause for more sickness across the world. So we're spraying our food, we're allowing people to be over us to cause us more harm. And that's the same person that if you don't take it, they want the digital ID so then they know who didn't take it so they could outcast you, kind of like what China's doing right now. I'll give you a few more stories. There's a lady that was just interviewed that has been on Ozempic for a long time. She said, when I started losing weight, I was really happy. She said, but now I'm kind of in shock. When I went to my doctor for a checkup because I've got off Ozempic, I was trying to get myself off of it. She said, my doctor told me I had significant bone loss. What we're seeing is this weight loss miracle may be causing harm over the next years. Things that are supposed to help us actually may cause us more harm in the long run, such as the food, such as the chemicals, such as the sprays. It's unbelievable that we just embrace this. Listen, two more things. RFK shared this. It says, remember, New York City hosted a CV-19 pandemic simulation. Bill Gates hosted it. He was the main player there. The co-host was the deputy director of the CIA, Avril Haines. Our government's too tight to this. And all these chemicals, all these problems. Are we truly seeing like bioweapons from our own leaders? We're going to end this video with a quote. It says, everything in the world is fake. Our food is fake, our news is fake, our politicians are fake, our history is fake, even our financial system is fake. Our influencing is fake. I do not believe that anything that I see anymore is real because the last 4 or 5 years have told me that the narratives are being pushed no matter who is in leadership, and we're all just chess pieces being moved around. That's why independence and freedom, focusing on Christ, and trying to protect your family is the best ways forward. Pay attention. The people that quote-unquote lead us may not be actually leading us correctly and influencing us correctly. Remember what the guy said about Tucker Carlson? He's done more to sway people in America than anyone before. Unbelievable. Pray for our nation. It needs it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. God bless.